Welcome to the third and final part of my Minecraft tournament series. In this tournament, my friends and I competed in 3 different game modes: parkour, building, and survival. In this video, we're going to take a look at 3 separate survival rounds. Let's see how it went. Before we get into the first round, let me explain how a survival round works. Contestants get 1 hour to make as much progress in the game as possible. The overall goal is to beat the Ender Dragon, but we're definitely not good enough to get that done in just 1 hour. PvP is also enabled, which can lead to some very interesting fights. Participants can also form alliances and work together, although I don't think that happened too much. Each round uses a new seed, and besides that, there really aren't too many rules. No cheating or doing anything that feels like cheating, and that's it. Let's take a look at our first round. The borders dropped and we were on our way. I ran over to some trees to get wood and got basic stone tools. I hadn't played survival Minecraft in a long time, but I was pretty familiar with how to get started. I went into a small ravine to grab some coal, then found my first enemy. Okay, it was a very quick and unfair fight, but it gave me some resources. I was in it to win it. I was not gonna let anyone get in my way. I found a village across the ocean, which is a perfect place to get good stuff in a new world. I got an iron sword and chestplate, so I'd say that was pretty successful. After looting the village for a while, my opponent was back yet again. If I made a wrong move here, I could die and lose all my stuff. After chasing them through the water for a little while, they drowned to death, and my progress was not lost. After this, I went underwater and found a buried treasure map. I decided to spend my time looking for this chest because it would likely contain diamonds. After that, I could start mining, then make my way to the nether. Well, after 2 minutes straight of looking for the chest, I gave up. It was time to go down into the mines, and I was a little nervous. I had to actually find a cave, and I haven't really gotten used to the new cave update. I was just hoping that I wouldn't die and lose all my progress. We were about 20 minutes into the round at this point, and most of my gear came from the village. If I died, it would be really hard to come back from this. I started mining underwater using doors to stay alive. It turned out to be really effective, and I got a lot of iron from this. I dug out part of the underwater cave and it revealed this huge cave. The problem was the insane amount of mobs that were just waiting to kill me. I tried looking into my inventory, and that's when the skeleton decided it was time for me to restart. 29 minutes into the first round and I had to start punching a tree again. Oh well, I still had the village, and although it was pretty much fully looted, there were still some things that I could do there. What I did find was a player, and I was ready to get some resources for myself. After a fairly long chase, I was able to do it. They came back, but I just couldn't kill them this time. They seemed friendly, and they definitely didn't have any resources for me. I found myself back in a boat, and this time I was just looking for anything I could do in the remaining 20 minutes. I found a cave, and it was the first cave that was actually nice to me. I was able to get a full set of iron armor. I was now ready for the nether. Unfortunately, after running around for so long, I was still unable to find a lava pool to get to the nether, so that was it. It was a pretty exciting round until I died halfway through, and then I couldn't really get anywhere. Let's move on to the second round. The second round started off very similar to the first. I got basic stone tools, then started looking for ores. I found some iron and immediately made a water bucket since I wasn't gonna die to fall damage again this round. After that, I found the end of the world. So for some reason, the server just decided to glitch and not load the whole seed, leaving a very small chunk for us to actually play on, so we had to start all over again. Luckily, we used the same seed, meaning that I would have a general idea of where some ores were. I got some iron, got a water bucket again, and made my way down an underwater cave. I was able to get a full set of iron armor from this trip, and I was ready to make it to the nether. I just needed to find either a lava pool or a bunch of obsidian. After looking on the surface for a while, I found a village, and I was lucky enough to get 11 obsidian blocks, meaning I could go to the nether for the first time in this tournament. For a survival round, going to the nether is really important. The nether is a great place to get ender pearls, either through bartering with piglins or killing endermen in a warp forest. It's also the place to find blaze rods, which are necessary to find the stronghold. Those can only be found in nether fortresses, which can be pretty hard to find. However, I got lucky and I spawned literally right next to one. I got lucky yet again with the blaze spawner, which was right at the start of the fortress. I fought blazes for a while until I got 12 powder, which likely would have been enough for finding the end portal. I went back into the forest, this time looking for any more loot I could find. And finally, for the first time in this tournament, I managed to find diamonds. I also tried fighting wither skeletons, but I didn't have any luck at getting a skull. For my remaining time in the round, I decided to make my way further into the nether to try to get some pearls. I wanted to find a warped forest, but if I couldn't, at least I could find some gold to give to piglins. I found a bastion, which I knew from experience that I wasn't going to survive if I actually tried looting the whole thing. I continued on in my journey, trading away as much gold as I could. This piglin decided to scam me and immediately wore my boots. I did not appreciate that. I didn't have much luck with the bartering. I only got 2 pearls, and I really didn't have much time left in the round, so I decided to practice my parkour skills for the remaining time. Hey, that's a reference to a previous video of mine. Go check that out after this one if you haven't seen it yet. Let's start with the final round. This one was very exciting. This round started next to a village again. After getting basic gear, I went to the village. There was someone else there, and I fought them to get their resources. They had about a stack of bread from wheat from the village, and food is very important for survival. I then started mining a little into a cave, getting a decent amount of iron. Now, there was a problem. The world looked like this. Another world generation issue, just like the second round. We decided to restart this world again, which was unfortunate. The actual third round had begun, and I was ready to finish strong. I did pretty much the same thing as the first time because we were using the same seed. I went to the village and there really wasn't anyone there. I decided to look around for a little bit to see what I could find, and I luckily found a lava pool. It was also pretty close to the village, meaning I could get there easily, but it also meant that other players would be able to find it easily as well. I had a water bucket from mining some iron earlier, so I decided to make another portal, about 10 minutes into the round. I also found a wolf, and I was lucky enough to tame it with the only 2 bones I had. I didn't have a flint and steel, but I was able to light the portal using a wood block next to lava. I went into the nether just to get the advancement in chat, then left because it was a little too early for that. I went mining for a while to try to get a full iron set. I found a pretty big cave system, and although it was full of mobs, this was not going to end the same way as the first round did. I came prepared with my water bucket, and I also had my dog on my side. If I couldn't kill a mob on my own, my dog would have been able to do it for me. There was also a lot of iron in this area, and I was quickly able to get a full set of armor. I went back to the surface and found someone at the village. I think they had just recently died because they only had wooden tools and no armor. It felt bad killing them, but I couldn't let anyone get in my way on the final round. I was ready to go to the nether. In the nether, the goal was to find another fortress. On the way to find one, I completed the Return to Sender challenge, which is always a fun one to try to go for. I found this one small pillar of nether bricks, so I knew I found a fortress. I dug up into it and started looking for a blaze spawner, but I found something else instead. Not something, but someone. I was not ready for a fight. I'm not good at PvP, and I knew I couldn't beat someone that had the same gear as me. I tried to go for a smart move of emptying my water bucket and filling it up with lava found in the fortress. Unfortunately, I guess I wasn't the only one with the idea of using a lava bucket, and I got a taste of my own medicine. It felt a lot like the first round. We were 30 minutes into the round, and I was back to having nothing. However, the person who killed me said they had all my stuff for me in a chest, so I definitely took advantage of that. I would not have been that nice. Although they did take my food, I wasn't happy about that. And as if it wasn't bad enough, I ran into another enemy in the fortress, and I still didn't have very much health. However, they didn't have any armor. I could do this. I was ready to win this. Oh. So, I was back at the beginning yet again. At this point, the round was already so chaotic, and it didn't appear to slow down anytime soon. I started having a sumo fight near my lava pool. I wasn't super happy about that. At least my dog was there to help me. Yeah, no, he just kind of ran around and watched. My opponent for the sumo duel left into the nether portal, but I stayed to try to get some more resources since I had basically nothing. At least I had my dog. He wouldn't do anything stupid to hurt himself. Or he could do that. I guess that's also an option. I started getting attacked, so I decided to go into the nether just to get away from the skeleton, and I was instantly killed by a skeleton. Things were not going well. I was back at the start of the game yet again, with only 25 minutes left of the competition. I got into an early game fight, and those always seemed to be the most fun. I only had wooden tools, but I would have to make it work. Well, it was a pretty easy kill. However, we were right at spawn, so they were back and ready for revenge. I dug into the ground and made a stone axe, so I would easily be able to win the next fight. Again, it was a pretty easy kill, but I liked the feeling of making progress, since actual game progress at this point wasn't very possible. Well, it was time to stop fooling around. I was ready to try to do something with the time I had left. I went into the cave that I found in the first attempt at the third round, before we reset the world. It had a decent amount of iron, and it definitely gave me hope that I could do something. I found a lava pool, and I knew what I had to do. I got my bucket, and I was ready to go to the nether yet again. It spawned me into the same portal, meaning I knew exactly where the fortress was, and maybe I could kill whoever was there. I had about 5 minutes left in the round. If I could win this fight, I would definitely come in first place for the round. It was all a matter of sneaking up on my opponent. Maybe they wouldn't know I was there. I could put lava on them, kill them, and take their loot. Well, the plan failed. I misplaced the lava, and before I could even do anything about that, we were both dead due to the exploding bed yet again. I was not going to lose this fight. I chased them back into the portal and was ready to get revenge. Until I fell into the lava, that wasn't fun. I went back into the nether with no gear for my final push. Unfortunately, I forgot that to get to the fortress I actually needed tools to break the blocks, and instead had an intense fight with a piglin. I finally won a fight. I was so proud of myself. And that was it. I was out of time. It had started off as a really good round, but it quickly fell apart. I did not expect to end the round with literally nothing in my inventory, but I had felt like I fought really hard throughout the entire round, and it was a lot of fun. And with that, that's it. That's the end of the survival rounds, meaning that's also the end of the entire tournament. I had a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do another one. Now, you may be asking, did I win? Well, I actually got really close. I got second place. Am I upset that I didn't win? Of course not. I had a lot of fun throughout the event, and that's really all that matters. Although if it did bother me, I would be very upset at the results because I only lost by 2 points, which I could have easily gotten if my Christmas Spirit build placed higher, but it didn't because this build won, which was very clearly an Easter build, but it got first place by all the judges even though my build clearly showed Christmas Spirit a lot more than an Easter build did. But it doesn't bother me, and the event was a lot of fun. But for now, that's all I have. Thanks so much for watching.